Hi, I'm Green Bay Greg with Dallaire Realty, and I've got the king of title insurance, Craig Haskins from Knight Berry. You know what? I want to talk about something that's happened in the offer to purchase. There's a big kind of transition for good reason. It's something called a gap endorsement policy. Can you kind of give us a basic explanation of what that really is?
Sure. Gap endorsement is just an add-on to your title insurance policy. Anytime you want to add something special or additional coverage to any type of insurance policy, it's usually done by an endorsement. Gap endorsement is the big change for real estate agents in Wisconsin this year, because now it's mandatory in the offer to purchase, unless it's stricken. In my history so far in the first 6-7 months is that no one strikes this, so it's sort of a required thing to add to your policy. And it's a smart thing, because if I'm a buyer of real estate and I'm in the title business, I would never buy a property without gap endorsement. Now, especially in this economy, what a gap endorsement to your policy does is it protects you against the seller doing something wacky to the home's title before they get to the closing room. I mean, it could be the day of closing, it could be a couple weeks before closing, but there's generally a gap in the public records between what we can find when we're doing our record searches and a couple weeks later when you actually come to the closing. Now, if the seller did anything in that interim period, the gap, it's not covered by title insurance unless you have this endorsement. The endorsement isn't expensive. It's something a buyer should always get. I mean, the seller pays for it, so as a buyer you might as well get it, and it gives you a lot of coverage. So there's some things the seller could have done. Is the seller could have been sued in the weeks leading up to the closing for not paying a bill. I don't know. In this economy, we see a lot of lawsuits against just your friends and your neighbors, and everyone seems to have a little thing here that they're working out, and they could have been sued. They could have, worst case scenario, sold the property to somebody else before coming to your closing. So unless you're buying this property from like your mother, who most people don't trust their mothers, you should probably get this endorsement. No, you should definitely get this endorsement, and it's built into your forms now.
I completely agree. It's a no-brainer, it's really cost-effective, and it's a perfect way to protect yourself. So here's the deal. If you're going to be buying or selling a home in Green Bay, I highly recommend using the title company that I trust, Knight Berry. 965-1102.